If we were to look at the results of this election here on Saturday afternoon, as it says here, first thing that you see when you open up the New York Times front page, Biden beats Trump. So apparently as of right now, Joe Biden is president-elect and slated to be the 46th president of the United States. If this is in fact a clean win for him, congratulations. What we are going to be doing here today is taking a look at the policies, because if everything is tracking as expected, it looks like he'll have the House, and more than likely he's going to have the Senate as well. Yeah, so for everybody out there screaming, oh, at least the Republicans are going to have the Senate, not terribly likely, folks. Okay, Alaska's pretty much going to be decided. Alaska, yeah, that'll head for the Republicans. Now, because North Carolina has to wait until the 12th in order to start counting votes again, this very, very, very tiny lead, which is not too different to what President Trump has at the moment, may or may not disappear. So the gain or the retention in Alaska is going to be overridden by the potential flip in North Carolina. And then both Senate races in Georgia, as you can see here, a razor thin victory for David Perdue over John Ossoff. Sure, sounds about right. And then in the special election here, that looks like that seat is definitely going to flip. Now, because these special elections work where there were multiple Democrats and multiple Republicans running at the same time, those votes were split up. Now, it's tough to say because we can extrapolate that race further. Yeah, and while it might look like, 2.1 million for the Republicans, as opposed to about the same in the top 7 candidates for the Democrats as well. Just take out, Doug Collins and Kelly Loeffler there. And 5 of the top 7 candidates were Democrats by a significant margin. So they're going to have a runoff here, I think, either late December or early January. I think it's in the middle to the end of December where the runoff election for both of those Senate seats are going to go. So, I would imagine that the Senate's going to go to the Democrats because, you're just going to have that one concentrated election, and based on the turnout there, that's what it looks like. And that's the only type of prognostication or kind of just forecasting I'm going to do. We're just going to look directly at the policies here, and this is what to expect if Joe Biden ends up, being properly declared the victor. So if you go directly to Joe Biden's website, you immediately get directed here. I'll pull it up just for shits and giggles. Why don't we? Yeah, so instead of actually getting to his policy pages or any of the campaign promises beforehand, this is the only page that you can get to, Presidency for All Americans. And then he shows what appears to be an elderly Native American woman, and fuck it, let's just read this. My fellow Americans, I'm honored and humbled by the trust the American people have placed in me and Vice President-elect Harris. In the face of an unprecedented obstacles, a record number of Americans voted, proving once again that democracy beats deep in the heart of America. With the campaign over, it's time to put the anger and harsh rhetoric behind us. I'm not going to be negative in this. And come together as a nation. It is time for America to unite and to heal. We are the United States of America, and there's nothing we can't do if we do it together. Signed, Joe Biden, on Election Day, November 7th, 2020. I know, it's a joke. And then you try to go through to anything else on the website, and you can't. It just immediately redirects there, but you can feel free to buy some stuff from the Joe Biden shop. Which, let's just take a look. Oh, Presidency for All. He's already selling presidential merchandise. Good for him. It's actually a pretty slick looking shirt, if I'm being completely honest. That's really just kind of simplistic and basic, but I'm sure it's nice and probably, union printed and made in the United States. I was expecting something else, but that's not the entire point of this. Oh, good, and you should have made it $46. Old dude doesn't know branding. But you have to kind of do a couple of leaps in order to get back to his policy page. So here's what people can look forward to for the next 4 years. Did you know Joe Biden's going to beat COVID-19? He says he is. Restore American leadership abroad. Because out of the G20 community, 17 other leaders ranked higher than Trump. Whatever, based on the pussyfooting we see out of many other European leaders, with the exception of Macron lately, who's been doing a great job of standing up to Islamic terrorism. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but that's neither here nor there at this point. Joe Biden will be joining that community very shortly. Joe Biden's plan and economic recovery plan for working families. Ensure the future is made in America. Sure. Secure our values as a nation of immigrants, because we need to further divide the country into little groups in order to bring it together, right? Support our veterans, kind of like how you destroyed the VA during his previous time in office. I don't want to be catty in this. Support educators and students, yes, because they overwhelmingly voted for you, the very young demographic. There was also another demographic that overwhelmingly voted for you, but that's another time and another place to discuss that. Tackle the climate emergency. It's no longer climate change. It's no longer global warming. It's a climate emergency. Okay, if you're going to tackle it first and foremost, then definitely label it as the most important thing going on right now and have it be the, seventh point on there. Ooh. Lucky number 7 again. Strengthen tribal nations. Once again, just another divisive strategy. Oh, I'm sorry. Inclusive strategy to segregate everybody into their little groups. Improve racial economic equity. Equity. I love seeing that on a democratically elected official site. Equity. Cool. Strengthen the caregiving and education workforce. The Biden plan for clean energy future. I'm sure it's different. And this is where you've seen it before, or you've heard it referenced a bunch. His Green New Deal-like. It's not the Green New Deal. Yeah, sure. But it's very, very close with all of his promises of net zero emissions worldwide by no later than 2050. He will... Okay, this is not being morose and this is not being predictive. By 2050, there won't be Joe Biden. Okay, he will be long gone. He would literally be 108 years old. Based on what we've seen this year, not exactly, out of the realm of impossibility for him to survive to be 108 years old. And hell, I hope he lives a long and fruitful life. And based on what we know, he might be able to even vote in that election. But that's neither here nor there. And because the Platinum Plan wasn't good enough, we need the Biden Plan for Black America. So... hey, we'll see if Ice Cube's a man of his word, if he goes down there and he meets with the Democrats about his contract for Black America, or if that was just lip service in order for them to get elected. Who knows? He said that he'd meet with them, and this is all about optimism, right? Strengthen ties with Central America and all of Bernie Sanders' friends down there. And our gun violence epidemic. If you would love to learn a lot more about that, I did a video on the 3 policies that Joe Biden you should know before voting for him. All online sales would be gone, and it'll be incredibly difficult for you to own and legally obtain any firearms in the future, but hey, that's what you voted for, and that's what the vast majority of the electorate voted for, right? End violence against women, because there's no other violence that we should be concerning ourselves with. More diversity projects. Secure environmental justice, again with the climate emergency and environmental justice. And then this just finishes with a bunch more. The AAIP, which is apparently Islanders community. That's what you call Samoans and the like. Sure, I didn't know about that until now. The Indian American community, dot not feather. The Jewish community, Muslim American community, Latin. Honestly, it's just more pandering to everybody, but that's what the majority of people voted for, right? That's what everybody wanted. We want somebody who's going to curtail the Second Amendment because there's a gun epidemic. Definitely just not violent crimes in general. It's all about firearms, right? And continue to dig down on sexual and racial tensions, which was something Barack Obama definitely did when Black Lives Matter was formed in 2013. Definitely got to the heart of that problem, and that was the entire point around his second term. He was going to fix the black community. Look here. If this sticks, if I'm supposed to believe that every single ballot was legally cast and there was nothing funny about this election whatsoever, we are on track for President Joe Biden, President number 46, and everything will go back to normal. And that is all I want to say about that, because outside of that, I would just use critical thinking skills and tell you that there is a lot more to come and what we can easily expect. But I said that I would just look at the policies here, and this is, what we're going to be getting. And as you can see right now, there's so many violent protests going on based on, the thoughts and fears of the incoming policymakers, and I'm being totally facetious with that, because all you see right now are just Trump supporters lining the streets, holding up flags, and Antifa especially. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and source that right now. Because as you can see, the peaceful idea of Antifa right now, Antifa fight Trump supporters at Washington State Capitol in Olympia. And yeah, here's all of these violent right-wing extremists, former Trump supporters, and now going to be labeled conspiracy theorists. Sorry about that one. Anyways, yeah, they're just lining the road, holding up their signs, not impeding traffic whatsoever, and yeah, that'll eventually be outlawed because, yeah, you're just supporting a conspiracy theory. Anyways, before I get too hot under the collar, we'll end it right there. Yeah, hopefully everything is cool out there. Hopefully things stay cool. Well, turn cool, I guess, because you guys got what you wanted, potentially. I'm not giving up hope. Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.